What's up, everybody? My name is Wreck-It Rob, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about how and where to farm for XP. So this is a common question that I get whenever I'm on stream on the last KOH video I did. This is something that people still as a whole haven't really figured out how to do yet. So today I kind of wanted to give you my approach to doing it, as well as kind of the guide that the game gives you. So if we go over to achievements and then to path guide and hero promotion tips, this kind of gives you a mindset of where you should actually be heading in order to farm for XP. So you can see that, well, the one that it's on right now says 7-1 Conqueror. And generally in gacha games, they will always have some kind of a path to start you off with from the beginning, or how you can begin to farm something. So at the beginning of the game, after you complete a certain amount, you're going to be given a drain set. That drain set I currently have on the 5-star that I picked, Ifrit. So you can see that this is just the basic vampire set that you're given. It's not anything crazy, and this can generally farm well enough for me. So you can see that the runes that you're given kind of give you a guide for where you should start to be heading. As well as with this handy dandy little hero promotion tips, it kind of gives you a guide for how you should begin to start farming for XP and where you should be aiming towards eventually. So the secret to farming this XP is you kind of want to pick a hero that has some AoEs. You want to make sure that you're trying to put vampire on them if they don't have some form of self-heal, and because I use Ifrit, she doesn't have any of those, the vampire sets work perfectly. So what you should first be doing when you want to farm for XP is you should be going to the store, going to general, and then you want to buy one of these XP boosters. I'm not going to buy one just because I have a couple in storage. In applied effects, you want to be looking out for certain XP booster events. There's not one going right now, there was a few days ago, and you want to make sure that you're taking advantage of those. You can see those by going to applied effects, seeing what's currently active, and then seeing if you can take advantage of any of those. So we're going to come up to my storage, we're going to go in here, and we're just going to pop a 12-hour one because I don't intend to do a whole lot with this. And we're going to go to battle, and currently where I farm for my XP is on 1-1 Conqueror. Now, as the game kind of lays out, this isn't where you want to stay at. You want to constantly be improving and moving forward in these to get the best farming capabilities. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to come into Conqueror 1-1 to start, or you know, hard or even easy at the beginning, and you want to make sure that you have someone who can reliably farm all of it. So you can see I currently have Ifrit and Colvarin in here. Now, having only 2 heroes in here is good for one thing and not good for another. Having only 1 hero is better to increase this hero faster, but if you want to take advantage of all of the XP that you're going to be getting from this stage, you want to make sure that you're filling up your slots with everybody. So you have 1 farmer, and then you want to bring 3 people who you're trying to level up. Now, like I said, this isn't going to be the fastest way to level up a certain hero, but it is the most efficient way in leveling up all of your heroes. So depending on what you're trying to do at the moment, that kind of determines whether you're wanting to level up 1 hero or all of them. Kind of as a rule though, in order to have the most, or to take advantage of the most XP, you want to completely fill all 4 of these and have your farmer just as one of them. If one of these has attack leader or, you know, some kind of leader skill, throw it in first, or pick a farmer that has a leader skill. If it does not, that was kind of my fault, but she works well enough. So you can see we're going to go in start battle. And once we get in here, we're just going to click auto. Now, if you're trying to level these guys up like to their max, I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. You're just going to be taking advantage of the auto battling feature. So you can see that right at the start, Ifrit did an AoE, took out 2 of the orc archers. One's an orc archer, and I think one's like an orc warrior. So you can see she's killing them, and as she's taking damage from them, because she has vampire runes on her, she's going to be constantly healing the entire time. And granted, she can do this, but Colvarin is also doing some damage too. You can kind of ignore that just for this purpose. So you can see, I think 2 more hits, and then this battle should be, oh no, 1 more hit. So you can see we have the lifesteal. So you can see she's constantly regaining the HP that she's losing because she's dealing so much damage. So you can see everyone gained 5,000 XP. So what that means is normally you would be getting 2,500, but because we have an XP booster going, instead of getting 10,000 overall for the whole team, you're actually getting 20,000 now. So you're benefiting a lot by doing that. They also in the game have triple XP boosters, which you can actually find. You can also stack double XP boosters on top of XP events. You can do a lot of different things to maximize the amount of XP you're getting. But this is a better way to explain why it's better to have the whole thing filled with heroes rather than just taking one. So if I were just taking Ifrit and then Colvarin, who's the one that I'm currently trying to max level, so you can see there's 20,000 XP in total that's being given. Well, because Ifrit is absorbing a percentage of that compared to how many heroes you're taking in, you're losing 5,000 XP by doing it this way. Whereas if we got rid of these two 1-stars, you'd have 20,000 split between two. You're wasting half the XP. So it's the most efficient to fill it up entirely and make sure that you're taking advantage of all the XP you can. Something else that you can do if you're just leveling up one person, or even if you're doing an entire group to speed it up, if we come back here, what we can do is opt Ifrit out, and we can throw in someone else's farmer. We'll take Athos' farmer for this. So you can see we'll get rid of those two, and then we'll start the battle. So the reason why it's good to use your friend's heroes is because when you take them into battle, they don't absorb any of the XP from that battle. So you can see once we end this, once this finishes, you're going to see that Colvarin is going to be taking all of that 20,000 XP. So if you're leveling up a single hero, this is the fastest way that you can possibly do it, as long as your friends have, you know, pretty reliable farmers for this. And once again, this is just for Conqueror 1-1. This is just where I farm, but it doesn't have to be where you should farm or anyone else should farm. Ideally, you want to move up as high as possible, and from some people who have talked to me in Twitch chats, some of the top players actually have been through my Twitch chat to talk to me about this. The actual best hero, and I'll show you in just a second, the best hero for this actually is a craftable unit. So if you come to summon and then click combine at the bottom left, you can see all these different heroes that you can craft. You can see these 3 combined heroes. If you click on this one, Muspel, you can see every time he's using a certain attack, his cooldowns are being reset for his next highest one. So that means he's going to be constantly going from boom, 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 constantly resetting cooldowns and using these as much as possible. Not only that, unlike Ifrit, who I use, Muspel also has a 30% attack lead, meaning that it's not going to be as hard to get his rune quality up there. And especially if you're using vampire runes, he has a 2-turn AoE once you actually level him up, which occasionally can end up being a 1-turn AoE with his second skill, because anytime he uses this, it resets the cooldown of this by 1, or lowers it by 1, meaning that if you have this skilled up, he's going to be going attacking with this, then attacking with this, but getting an action opportunity, then attacking with this again. So from what I have heard, Muspel can actually farm Conqueror 3-1 in 8 seconds. I'm not sure if he's able to farm other levels equally as fast, but I do know that the current farmer people use for Conqueror 7-1 is actually Ingwe. Ingwe, if you haven't already been in the loop kind of the meta of how people are kind of approaching this game so far, Ingwe is a tree nat 5. He's currently one of the most commonly picked nat 5s for people to start with because he's able to do things crazy like solo F11. He's able to do things like that by transferring debuffs on him onto other people. He's actually capable of single-handedly farming stage 7-1 on Conqueror. Only problem is the time it takes him to do that. The amount of time it takes for Ingwe to actually farm Conqueror 7-1 is about 2.5 minutes on average, but you know, as your rune quality increases, that time is going to go down. So the important thing to kind of take away from this is time versus efficiency. We can take Ingwe for example. If say you picked him as your nat 5, you have someone who is capable of farming 7-1 on Conqueror. The problem is it's not efficient with time, but it is with in-game resources. So if you're free to play, using Ingwe might be your best bet because you take advantage of as much resources as possible. However, if you're looking for someone to be able to quickly farm, to do it very reliably, you may want to go ahead and craft Muspel because he's a craftable unit. Everyone has access to him and he's a great farmer. even if at first you're not going to be farming 7-1, maybe you're only farming 3-1 or 1-1 or anything like that, you're still going to be farming it much faster and much more efficiently on time than you would be if you were using someone super reliable like Ingwe. So now that we have the hero out of the way, now we're going to actually show you guys how to set up your auto battling to actually achieve maxing out, say, a 1-star. So we're going to go back to 1-1 Conqueror, and we're going to click this little repeat right down here. This is the auto battling function in the game, and it works very well. It actually has an ability for you to be able to set up when you want something to stop. So say we take those 2 1-stars back, and we're going to click auto. Now it is important to note that in order to actually do this, what you should really do is take your farmer into a stage and then beat it first with your farmer. If you're able to beat it with your farmer, that guarantees you get 3 stars, and 3 stars on a level is the only way that you actually unlock this. So that is important to note. Run it first with your farmer, make sure that your farmer can beat it, and then it unlocks this. So if we click repeat, we can go in here and we can actually set all of these different things that we want it to happen. Now, this vibration doesn't apply to anyone playing on PC, like through BlueStack or Nox, like it does for me. This doesn't apply to me right now because, as you can see, I'm currently on my computer. Now, up here, you also have to set the amount of repeats. So say you have a lot of energy, say you're maxing out a couple of 5 stars or 6 stars, and you know, it's gonna be able to go X amount of times without them capping out at all. You can click max, and this is going to blow through all of the attacks that you can currently do up to 20. It doesn't go any higher than 20, so try to balance your AP right around there. You kind of want to make sure that you're not going too far over on AP, because if you're doing that, you're not able to sit and constantly build up that AP, because you get 1 AP every couple of minutes, and the more that you have this maxed out, the longer amount of time, the more energy or the more AP you're wasting. So down here, you're actually able to set it when you want the battle to end. So I would use don't stop if I was, say, farming for runes. I need the runes from this stage. I don't want this to get interrupted, say on my 3rd attack. If I'm like going to sleep or going to class or something, I would click don't stop. So then even if someone gets maxed out, I'm still going to be sitting and farming that full 20 times for those runes. Now, if you're clicking 1 hero, this is what I would do if I was, you know, level capping a couple of 1-stars to turn them into 2 stars, because they're gonna finish, or they're gonna cap out at their level, I think around like 7 to 8 on stage 1-1. So I would click 1 hero. As soon as they're done, I'm not gonna waste any more XP on them. I'm just going to stop the battle. I'm gonna go, you know, promote them, feed them, use them for whatever. But this stops it whenever a certain hero reaches a max level. It only needs 1. So that's important to note also if you have, say you are capping some 5 stars or some 6 stars, and say your farmer isn't max level. Say your farmer is at level 68 or 69, something incredibly close to being capped out. Well, you don't want it to stop on your farmer before it has time to do all 20 of these attacks. So what you do then is click all heroes. If I click all heroes, no matter what, this is gonna keep going to 20 battles unless every single hero reaches max level. Now, like I said, if you're capping out, you know, your farmer and some 5 or 6 stars, this might be what you want to go with. If you're capping out some 1 or 2 stars, go with this one. If you're farming for runes, generally go with this one. Now, this also sets the conditions for if you want the battle to repeat. Currently, if I'm getting a rift, I don't want the battle to end, so I don't have this checked. So I keep this checked off. And if I lose the battle, I don't want it to stop, because that might just be a fluke and I might win 19 times out of the 20. So I don't want this ticked. So these I don't generally tick because I'm generally sitting and farming. I don't care as much about if I get a defeat. I want to keep going and getting the XP. And if I'm discovering a rift, I'll focus on that once I finish my 20 battles. So with this, we can go ahead and click start battle. And now we're going to actually enter the battle, and you're going to see a little bar down here saying both which number of battle you're on, as well as how many tries that there are left. You can also go, if you don't want to continue to be auto farming, you can click down here and you can set it to exit. You can also sit and change how you want it to, and you can check the rewards of what you've got. So those are just kind of some little tips on how you should be farming for XP. I hope that this helped. If anybody else has any other kind of tips for newer players that you want to give them for farming for XP or really anything, let me know down in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, please do me a favor and wreck the like button as well as the subscribe button down below. If you would like to come see more of me, consider hanging out with me on Twitch or in my Discord. Both of those links should be in the description down below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Later.